Picture this, a young NBA star lights up the league, dropping jaws with highlight reel plays and stats that scream future legend. Fans buzz, analysts hype, and franchises dream of dynasties. Then, poof, gone. The promise fades. The stats dwindle, and the hype train derails. These are the 10 recent NBA players who looked like franchise cornerstones but ended up as one-season wonders, their careers a bittersweet mix of what-ifs and wasted potential. From dazzling debuts to crushing disappointments, here's how these stars soared, then crashed. Devonte Graham, the Curry Mirage. Devonte Graham was a Kansas standout, named Big 12 Player of the Year and a consensus first-team All-American. In 2018, at 6'1", he had a silky jumper and playmaking flair, but the NBA wasn't sold. Drafted 34th overall by the Charlotte Hornets, Graham rode the bench as a rookie, averaging 14 minutes across 46 games behind Kemba Walker and Tony Parker. He was a third stringer, barely noticed. Then the stars aligned. Walker was traded to Boston, Parker retired, and Charlotte's point guard spot opened wide. In 2019-20, Graham erupted. He averaged 18.2 points and 7.5 assists, tying James Harden for 7th in the NBA in assists. His 218 made threes ranked 5th league-wide, and his 40% three-point shooting drew Steph Curry comparisons. Highlights included a 40-point 7-3 outburst against the Nets and a clutch game winner at Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. He's a star in the making, analysts gushed, predicting 20-point seasons and maybe all-star nods. But the fairy tale fizzled. In 2020-21, Graham's scoring dipped to 14.8 points. His efficiency tanked, and Charlotte traded him to New Orleans. There, his role shrank, 12.7 points, then 7.4, then 5.3. By 2025, shockingly, Graham was out of the NBA, a 30-year-old without a roster spot. 5 years after topping the league in assists and threes, he's a cautionary tale of peaking too soon. What happened? Graham's size limited his defense, and his shooting became streaky. Without Charlotte's green light, he couldn't replicate his 2020 magic. His fall shows how fragile stardom is. One hot season doesn't guarantee a career. Kendrick Nunn, Miami's meteoric rise, and fall Kendrick Nunn's NBA journey started in obscurity. Undrafted in 2018 out of Oakland University, he toiled in the G League with the Santa Cruz Warriors, averaging 19.3 points. The Miami Heat, known for unearthing gems, signed him for 2019-20, expecting a bench spark. Nunn delivered a supernova. In his preseason debut, he torched the Rockets for 40 points, the most by a Heat player in a preseason game in 2 decades. Who is this guy? Fans wondered. Nunn started all 67 games for Miami, averaging 15.3 points and 3.3 assists on 44% shooting. His fearless drives and pull-up jumpers earned him 2nd place in Rookie of the Year, voting behind Ja Morant. In the 2020 Finals, Nunn dropped 18 points off the bench in Game 1, the most by a rookie reserve since Eldon Campbell in 1991. Miami, a surprise finals team, seemed to have found their next star, but the glow faded. 2020-21, Nunn's scoring fell to 14.6 points, and Miami let him walk. The Lakers signed him to a 2-year, $10 million deal, but a knee injury wiped out his entire 2021-22 season. When he returned, the spark was gone. Traded to Washington, Nunn languished in garbage time. By 2024, he was out of the NBA, signing with Panathinaikos in Greece, where he won a EuroLeague title and Greek League MVP honors. Nunn's fall was brutal. Injuries sapped his explosiveness, and his one-dimensional game, scoring without elite playmaking, couldn't sustain a career. Yet his Greek success hints at untapped potential. Could he return? For now, he's a Heat legend for one fleeting season. Davis Bertans. The Latvian Laser's dimming beam, Davis Bertans. Nicknamed the Latvian Laser, arrived in the NBA in 2016 as a 6'10" sharpshooter for the Spurs. For 3 seasons, he was a reliable bench sniper, hitting 40% of his threes but averaging just 8 points. Traded to Washington in 2019, Bertans got a bigger role and exploded. In 2019-20, he averaged 15.4 points, drilling 42% of his threes, 6th in the NBA, and 200 total threes, 8th league-wide. His silky stroke and 6'10" frame drew Dirk Nowitzki comparisons. Wizards fans dreamed of a stretch 4 cornerstone. Washington rewarded Bertans with a 5-year, $64 million extension. Then the laser misfired. His shooting slumped to 39%. His scoring dropped to 11.5 points, and his defense, never strong, became a liability. By 2024, Charlotte waived him, though they'll pay him $5.25 million in 2025. Bertans' 2020 season was a contract year mirage, a common NBA trap where players peak just before the paycheck. His size and shooting still hold value, but his elite season stands alone, a reminder that efficiency doesn't always translate to impact. Bismack Biyombo, the playoff payday. Bismack Biyombo's one-season wonder came not in the regular season, but in the 2016 playoffs. A 2011 lottery pick, Biyombo spent 4 years in Charlotte as a raw, high-energy center, averaging 4.4 points and 6 rebounds. With Toronto in 2015-16, he posted 5.5 points and 8 boards. Modest numbers, but the playoffs changed everything. Facing LeBron's Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals, Biyombo became a defensive force, averaging 9.4 rebounds in 25 minutes across 20 games. His shot blocking and glass cleaning helped Toronto push Cleveland to 6 games, 2 wins shy of the finals. That 2-month run came at the perfect time. The NBA's 2016 salary cap spiked 32% to $94.1 million, thanks to a $24 billion TV deal. Teams flush with cash threw money at anyone with a pulse. Orlando pounced, signing Biyombo to a 4-year, $72 million deal. Insane for a 5-point scorer. But Biyombo never recaptured his playoff magic. His offense remained limited, and his defense couldn't justify the contract. He averaged 5.4 points and 5.4 rebounds for the rest of his career, bouncing between teams. Biyombo's story shows how playoff heroics and a cap spike can inflate a player's value, until reality sets in. Jabari Parker. The injury that stole a star Jabari Parker was a can't-miss prospect. The number 2 pick in 2014, this 6'8", 250-pound Duke forward had it all. A smooth jumper, deft handles, and explosive drives. In 2016-17, his 3rd season, Parker looked like Milwaukee's next star, averaging 20.1 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.8 assists on 49% shooting and 37% from 3. With Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton, the Bucks had a big 3 poised for a decade of dominance. Then tragedy struck. Parker tore his ACL in 2014 as a rookie. In 2017, the same knee buckled again. The double injury sapped his athleticism, the engine of his game. Over the next 5 years, he played just 158 games, averaging 12.5 points. The Bucks moved on and Parker bounced between teams, Chicago, Washington, Atlanta, before signing with Barcelona in 2023. At 29, he's a European star, but his NBA dreams are dust. Parker's fall wasn't his fault. Injuries stole a potential Hall of Famer. His 2017 season remains a heartbreaking glimpse of what could have been. Eric Paschall, the Warriors' false hope in 2020. The Golden State Warriors hit rock bottom. Kevin Durant left, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry were injured, and the team went 15-50. Amid the rubble, Eric Paschall, a 6'6" power forward drafted 41st in 2019, shone. A Villanova NCAA champion, Paschall averaged 14 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 2.1 assists on 50% shooting. His physicality and scoring earned him all-rookie first-team honors and 6th place in Rookie of the Year voting. Warriors fans saw a future cornerstone. When Curry returned in 2020, only 21, Paschall's role shrank. His scoring fell to 9 points, and his efficiency dropped. Traded to Utah, he averaged just 5.8 points and was waived after 1 season. By 2022, Paschall was in Europe, far from the NBA. His 2020 season was a product of opportunity. Golden State's depleted roster gave him shots he couldn't sustain. Paschall's story underscores how context can inflate a player's promise. Jeremy Lin, Linsanity's fleeting magic. No one-season wonder burned brighter than Jeremy Lin. A Harvard grad, Lin averaged 17 points and 5 assists, but went undrafted. In 2010, stereotyped as a skinny Asian point guard. Signed by Golden State, then Houston, he was cut twice, sleeping on a friend's couch in New York while on a minimum Knicks deal. In February 2012, injuries forced coach Mike D'Antoni to play Lin. He erupted. Against the Nets, Lin dropped 25 points and 7 assists. He followed with 28 and 8, then 23 and 10. Facing Kobe's Lakers, he scored 38. On February 14th, his game-winning 3 with 0.5 seconds left beat Toronto, sparking Linsanity. Overnight, Lin became a global icon, the biggest sports story in America. He averaged 14.6 points and 6.2 assists that season, but it was his peak. Over 9 NBA years, Lin averaged 11.6 points, never recapturing Linsanity's magic. Injuries, inconsistent shooting, and a crowded Knicks roster dimmed his star. Lin's story is the ultimate one-season wonder, proof that lightning rarely strikes twice. Jahlil Okafor. Born in the wrong era, Jahlil Okafor, the number 3 pick in 2015, was a throwback. At 6'11", the Duke center had Shaq-like hands, Hakeem-esque footwork, and a feathery touch. In 2015-16, he averaged 17.5 points and 7 rebounds for Philly, dominating the post. But the NBA had changed. The three-point revolution, led by Golden State, valued pace and space bigs who could shoot and switch. Okafor, a paint-bound scorer, couldn't keep up. His defense was porous, especially against stretch fives. By his sophomore year, his scoring fell to 11.5 points, and he never hit double digits again. Okafor bounced to Brooklyn, New Orleans, and Detroit, playing sparingly. By 2019, he was in China. In 2023, he signed a 10-day contract with Indiana, a nostalgic but fleeting return. If Okafor played in the 90s, when post-play ruled, he might have been a Hall of Famer. Born too late, his one rookie season stands as a relic of a bygone era. Michael Carter Williams, the rookie Rocket, Michael Carter Williams' NBA debut was historic. The number 11 pick in 2013, he faced the defending champion Miami Heat and posted 22 points, 7 rebounds, 12 assists, and 9 steals. Nearly a quadruple-double with 1 turnover. His 9 steals set an NBA debut record. Magic Johnson tweeted, "MCW is the real deal." The Syracuse guard kept rolling, averaging 16.7 points, 6.2 rebounds, 6.3 assists, and 1.9 steals, winning Rookie of the Year. But Carter Williams' shooting was abysmal, 40% from the field, 26% from 3. Philly, in tank mode, traded him to Milwaukee in 2015. His numbers sank, 14.1 points, then 11.5, then lower. He lasted 9 years in the NBA, a decent backup, but never approached his rookie heights. MCW's debut in 2014 season promised stardom. His shooting and Philly's rebuild ensured he'd be a one-year wonder. Lance Stephenson, born ready, then forgotten Lance Stephenson, aka Born Ready, was a Pacers fan favorite. In 2013-14, the 6'5" guard was a Swiss Army knife, averaging 13.8 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 4.6 assists on 54% effective field goal percentage. His versatility helped Indiana reach the Eastern Conference Finals, pushing LeBron's Heat to 6 games. Stevenson's antics, like blowing in LeBron's ear, made him a meme, but his game screamed potential. Then he unraveled. Signing with Charlotte in 2014, his scoring fell to 8.2 points, and his efficiency tanked. He bounced to the Clippers, Grizzlies, and others, never averaging double digits again. By 2022, he was a G League journeyman. Stevenson's 2014 season was his peak, a flash of brilliance overshadowed by inconsistency and off-court quirks. He's now a footnote, remembered more for memes than hoops. The bigger picture, these 10 players, Graham, Nunn, Burtons, Biyombo, Parker, Paschal, Lin, Okafor, Carter Williams, Stevenson, show how thin the line is between stardom and obscurity. Injuries, bad timing, poor fit, or a single hot season can define a career. Some, like Lin, became cultural icons. Others, like Okafor, were born in the wrong era. All left us wondering, what if? The NBA is a cruel stage. One dazzling act doesn't guarantee an encore.